Good evening, everyone. We are going to begin. Welcome to Martins West. I'm Mary Bubala from Fox 45 News. Happy to be your MC tonight for this very special event, Our Community Salutes. I was at the very first inaugural event last year. This has kicked it up a notch. This is an incredible way to salute our young men and women. And I know so many of you are family and friends here to recognize your special people in your life, these young people, and how much they deserve to be recognized tonight. Before we welcome the class of 2023 high school enlistees, please turn your attention to the screens as we celebrate the true power of service.
What does it mean to respond to the call to serve? It means putting your country and all of its citizens before yourself. It means taking a stand alongside your brothers and sisters in uniform to protect our freedom. By putting on that uniform, you're stepping into a legacy that's built by those that have gone before you. And you're part of a brotherhood of men and women who have chosen to rise up in these critical times. You made more than just a decision to serve. You made a decision to protect, to defend, to stand up for what's right, and to help make our world a better place. You made a decision to live every day of your life with honor, courage, and integrity. What the world needs now is hope for a better tomorrow. It needs leadership in times of uncertainty. It needs strength to believe that we can overcome anything if we do it together. What the world needs is you. Thank you for answering the call.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your class of 2023 high school enlistees. Please stand if you are not already for the presentation of the colors by Marine Barracks Washington Color Guard, the singing of our national anthem by Faith Stelling, the Pledge of Allegiance by future Marine Adam Kell, class of 2023, and the invocation by U.S. Army Chaplain Gregory Tehio.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join me in prayer. Our mighty God, we have gathered here today to celebrate this special night. Tonight we welcome the alliance of warriors, our brothers and sisters, these bright men and women standing before us. We thank you for allowing us this privilege to stand shoulder to shoulder with America's future. This is a moment that will not soon be forgot. We thank you for everyone gathered here. Each warrior before us has a story that has not been made alone. Each individual who has made the choice to wear America's cloth has been helped to getting to this point. And for that, we raise our voices collectively to you to thank you for their influence. We thank you for their families, for those who grew up with and those who are a family by choice. We thank you for our friends who stood by us through it all, and we thank you for our teachers, those who instilled more than just knowledge, but the wisdom to stand for what is right. And now as these brave souls declare to step forward with those who have gone before us, I leave a blessing on each one of them within the sound of my voice. I bless these new warriors to have peace and courage to defend truth by vanquishing injustice and wrong. I bless their parents and loved ones to have comfort when they are needed during the times of separation and patience while waiting for them to return home. And also may our leaders have the discernment and power to lead in truth and righteousness. And lastly, I bless all to have honor so that at the end of the day we can say that we've done our best. May we continue to have pride as we celebrate peace and stand ready to fight when that peace is challenged is the prayer that we leave. In your holy name, amen.
Again, welcome everyone. You can be seated. Before we get started, we just want to take a moment to thank the U.S. Marine Corps Drum and Bugle Corps for the incredible music tonight. They are amazing. Thank you, Chaplain Trujillo, who we'll hear from a little later in our program, to the Marine Corps Barracks, Washington Color Guard, and Faith Stelling, beautiful voice, U.S. Army, for that beautiful rendition of our national anthem. Before we get started, I want to take a moment just to recognize some of the special guests in our audience tonight. We'll hold our applause to the end. Lieutenant Governor of Maryland, Aruna Miller, Maryland Attorney General Anthony Brown, Maryland Secretary of Veteran Affairs Anthony Woods, the founder of the Diana Davis Spencer Foundation, Diana Davis Spencer, Derek Turner, USAA Military Affairs Representative for the Maryland area. Our Community Salutes board members, Julie Strauss-Levine, Troy Barnes, Captain Brooks Tucker, and also Baltimore County Police Chief McCullough is here tonight. Thank you all for being here. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce our next guest. And the reason we really are all here tonight celebrating our young enlistees. Dr. Ken Hartman is an e-learning authority, former university professor, administrator, consultant to several leading universities, and the founder of Our Community Salutes, a national nonprofit organization that recognizes, honors, and supports those high school seniors, you all here in front of us, who plan to enlist in the U.S. Armed Services after graduation. Please welcome Dr. Ken Hartman.
Wow, what a difference a year makes. Thanks very much, Mary. As she mentioned, last year we had our very first Our Community Salute ceremony right here in Baltimore. It was at the Railroad Museum. Whoops, is that working still? Okay. It was at the Railroad Museum, and we had, I want to say, maybe 35 to 40 seniors from the greater Baltimore area, maybe 125 or so family members. And look what a year difference. Over nearly 100 high school seniors, 300 of you came out tonight to say thank you to these kids. So why don't you give yourself an applause just for coming to that. So I was asked to tell a little bit about how this whole thing came about, and I'll be brief because you have a lot of very important people to hear from, and then we've got lots of great gifts for the men and women who are joining the service. So it all really started 15 years ago, 2009. In a moment of weakness, I agreed to serve on our local school board in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, which is just about 20 minutes from Independence Hall, just over Philadelphia. What I discovered shortly after joining the board was that we were doing nothing to recognize the young men and women who were graduating from our high school and who were enlisting directly in the military. I'm an old armored cav guy, but I was an officer. I was ROTC, and the kids who were doing ROTC, certainly the kids going off to the academies, they were getting recognized, but for the small percentage of kids that were graduating from high school and were enlisting, back then, many of them going off to war, we were doing absolutely nothing. And I noticed many of their parents literally getting tired of defending their son or daughter's decision to go in. So I decided I wanted to do something about that and organized a dinner. Found the nonprofit Our Community Salutes and organized a dinner. I didn't know where I was going to have it. I didn't know who was going to come. I didn't know how I was going to pay for it, but I wanted to try it. And in 2009, 15 years ago, we had our first dinner. And it was an amazing event. Actually the same venue that we had our dinner, our 15th anniversary this past Tuesday. About 4 months later, the Army did a story on us, Army Recruiting Command, and I got a call from a woman in Pittsburgh. She said, I heard what you did in South Jersey. Can you help me do that in Pittsburgh? I'm like, well, sure. I got the website, I got the name. I'll just call you our Community Suites in Pittsburgh. So in year 2, we had 2 locations. Then the word really got out. And over the past 15 years, we've grown from 2 locations to 10 locations to 30 locations to 50 locations to 60 locations to 70 locations all over the country, including Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands. So in the past 15 years, we've literally honored thousands and thousands of men and women just like you who have made the selfish decision to serve our country, to put their country before yourself. So this year, we're on track to about 55 events all across the country. And we're coming to the end of it, thank goodness, because I've been traveling to quite a few of them and have not seen much of my family. But it's truly an honor to be here. I want to say a few words, first of all, to the, before I tell you a little bit more about the seniors, the moms, dads, I want to take a couple minutes to recognize the veterans who are in our audience today. And if I could please ask, do we have any World War II veterans in the audience? Any World War II veterans? Nope, we had 2 on Tuesday night. A 100-year-old young gentleman who was actually a POW. Thank you. Oh, that's a live stream. And by the way, we are, thank you very much. We are live streaming this event. Thank you very much. For those of you, I apologize, on our Facebook and YouTube channel. So we had a 100-year young gentleman. He was actually a POW, German POW, captured by the Germans. And we had a 99-year-old veteran, a woman who was in the Navy, and we celebrated her. What about any Korean War veterans? Do we have any Korean War veterans here? Nope. How about our Vietnam veterans? If you could please stand. Do we have Vietnam veterans in the audience? Vietnam veterans, please stand. There we go. I'd like to ask our Cold War veterans, our Iraqi veterans, our Afghani veterans, any other veteran, if you could please stand so we can recognize you. Please stand. Thank you very much. We all stand on your shoulders. Mom and Dad, let me tell you, you're going to hear from a real university president. I'm a recovering university president. But I can tell you one thing that many folks in higher education may not want to tell you. And the fact of the matter is that 75% of all the colleges in the country, and there's 3,500 of them out there, 75% of those colleges will accept 75% or more of their applicants. Let me explain it. 75% of all the colleges will accept 75% or more of their applicants. Military right now, get in the military, only 23% of all high school seniors can even qualify to serve in the military. So if you think about it, your sons or daughters are joining a more select institution than any of the most of the colleges in America. And you may not know that. In fact, some of you may think that, in fact, you're running away from college. As one of the moms I talked to earlier, and I said, are you excited about your son going in the military? And she said, no, not really. I said, well, why not? She goes, well, I really wanted him to go to college. And I'm here to tell you that they are going to college. In fact, most of them are going to, moms and dads are going to earn anywhere between 20 to upwards of 60 college credits in their first year in the military just by doing their job. And if you want to write down one little acronym, write down a joint service transcript. Because every one of these men and women are going to be able to take that college credit and go to all the colleges, any college in the country, and take that college credit and put it towards the degree. So if you think you're running away from college, then the military is going to actually, you're going to run right into it, and all of your service is going to count towards that. So the most important thing that moms and dads, and even you guys should remember, is the one thing that you have in common with the general up here is, you may not think you may have anything in common with them, but you do. The one thing you have in common with her is that you're all getting out someday. And so it's critically important whether you're staying for 4 years or more, or 40 years in some cases. It's very important to start thinking about that now. Start thinking about making those connections in your community. Some of those organizations, Comcast and others who are here, are these companies and colleges and others who are here are the colleges and the companies that want to bring you into them. So we want you to come back. They want you to come back to Maryland and to work and to go to school. Two last final requests. As I mentioned before, this is being live streamed, so if you want the information about how to watch this is on your table. So if you have aunts and uncles, brothers, cousins, friends, who could not be here tonight, they can still watch this live. We'll have a recording of it on our website later on. Also, if you're taking pictures, as many of you will, especially when your sons or daughters come up here, they shake the hands and get some of the gifts that we're going to give them a little later on. Please post those questions on social media when you do hashtag us, whatever that thing you should do on social media so other people know you're doing it. Not quite sure, but so that we can see it and share that with others as well. And again, I want to also lastly acknowledge a couple organizations that, again, who are here tonight. This would not have been possible without them. First of all, I want to acknowledge the Diana Davis Spencer Foundation. If you look in the little pocket guide that we're going to give you a little bit, this is our really 96-page pocket guide called Why We Take the Oath. All of you know what you're going to do. This little booklet talks about why you're doing it and understand that. Some of our speakers will be talking about that as well. But if you look in the first page, you'll see this is the compliments of the Diana Davis Spencer Foundation, and we thank them for that as well. Also want to thank Comcast, Military and Veterans Affairs, who's been with OCS for 15 years now. Thank you very much. Sandbox in the back of the room, thank you very much. And Purdue Global, another one of our universities here. So, last thing I'm going to do is I get the chance to introduce a very, very special person. I mentioned the Diana Davis Spencer Foundation. That, again, we wouldn't be here today in large part if it wasn't for that foundation. And I want to introduce to you their CEO, Abby Moffett, who's going to come up and speak in a second. As actually, do I do that introduction right now or later? I think I do a little later on. But I want to thank Abby. I think you're coming up a little late. I do it now? Okay. Sorry. I told you we have 55 of these.
Yeah, on track.
Okay, I'm on track. Thank you very much. Normally, I don't introduce the speakers, but this is a very special one, so they gave me the opportunity to do that. Abby Moffett. Let me tell you a little bit about Abby Moffett with the Diana Davis Spencer Foundation. As a young adult, Abby Moffett was fortunate enough to meet Margaret Thatcher. Some of you guys may not remember Margaret Thatcher, the British Prime Minister, and who told her, and I quote, "Young lady, you have a choice. You have a voice. You need to use it." And it's safe to say she has for many, many years after getting that advice. As the chief executive officer of the Davis Spencer Foundation, Abby has built the foundation into a leading innovator in the national security field. She's channeled her entrepreneurial spirit to lead the foundation in support of multiple organizations, including the Diana Morgan Graduate School of National Security, an organization that focuses on national intelligence community. I also am very proud that the Diana Spencer Foundation, under Abby's leadership, has committed to our community salutes over $2 million over the next 3 years to expand these ceremonies across the country. So thank you so much for that. She has a long history of entrepreneurship and relationship building, a graduate of Mount Vernon College, and most importantly, she is the mother of a soldier who shipped off on Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to you. Please join me in thanking and welcoming Abby Moffett to the stage.
Wow, I'm honored to be here. It's quite emotional to be with all of you today. In the words of President Lincoln, honor the soldier and sailor everywhere who bravely bears his country's cause. Good evening, everyone. I'm so happy to be back with our community salutes again this year. I'm always honored to share the room with young men and women who believe in our country, who love our country, and who have made a choice that very few high school graduates will make to answer the call to serve our country. As World War II aviator and Medal of Honor James Doolittle said, "There's nothing stronger than the heart of a volunteer." And by volunteering to serve, you're joining a long tradition of Americans, but also an esteemed cadre of Marylanders who represent the very best of America. General George Washington noted as they held back the British forces during the Revolution, "The soldiers of Maryland 400 are among the bravest fellows I have ever known. Then in the War of 1812, an American Navy desperately outnumbered and outclassed by the British fleet, the U.S. turned to private sailors and merchants to supplement their war effort, and found them here. Baltimore became the center of American privateering action during the war, and as a result, a critical target of the British fleet. It is perhaps no wonder that it was during the war and in the Baltimore harbor that Francis Scott Key penned our national anthem. Baltimore was the site of the first bloodshed of the Civil War. As you know, the soldiers, the sailors on the borderline state famously fought brother versus brother. That said, the majority of Maryland volunteers, some 80,000 locals, fought to preserve the Union, and a record number of Maryland African Americans joined their ranks. Half a century before the Second World War, they were embodying the sentiments of General Douglas MacArthur would instill in his troops. No man is entitled to blessings of freedom unless he be vigilant in its preservation. MacArthur was right, of course, but vigilance requires immense courage of conviction. It requires a sacrifice of personal safety, as already mentioned, in favor of the preservation of collective values. It demands the strength of character over the ease of complacency, and it needs the profound understanding we are nothing as a nation without men and women on the front line willing to say, "Not on my watch." These are attributes I see in all of you. You truly are the bravest and the best of us. And that bravery extends beyond the enlistees themselves. No one takes this journey alone, as already mentioned. You who have answered the call to preserve American values and defend Americans' borders would not be here tonight if it was not for your parents, your siblings, your community members, and your teachers, all that have encouraged you along the way. Let's give them another round of applause. I know firsthand, as mentioned, the sacrifices you are making to help these brave enlistees achieve their dreams. That's because in addition to being the president and CEO of the foundation, national security and the American founding values, I am also, as mentioned already, and most importantly, an Army mom. My son Spencer, who just started Ranger School on Mother's Day, reminds me every day the truth in General Patton's sentiment that the soldier is the Army. The highest obligation and privilege of citizenship is that of bearing arms for one's country. Those words will hold just as true as the other branches of the military. Service and are exemplified by each of you tonight. You are all on the front line defense for the values that make America great. In the words of President John F. Kennedy, guard zealously your right to serve in the American forces, for without them, there will be no other rights to guard. I'm excited for tonight's program and honored to be with all of you. As a proud American, a proud former Marylander, and a very proud mother, I salute you. God bless you all, and God bless the United States of America.
Thank you, Abby. Thank you for your generosity in making important events like this possible. Your commitment to the next generation of our patriots is inspiring, and I think I speak for the entire room when we thank Dr. Ken Hartman for his vision and making this night possible and all the events around the nation. They're incredible. Thank you. All right, we're about to get some real Maryland pride here. Please help me welcome our next speaker, the president of the University of Maryland Go Terps, Daryl J. Pines, to the podium.
Well, good evening, everyone. It's a privilege and pleasure to be with you all this evening. And indeed, Dr. Ken Harmon, thank you for the invitation. And yes, I am a real college president. And I'm actually here to recruit all of the enlistees tonight. So those 20 to 60 credit hours that he was talking about, just bring them right to the University of Maryland. As you don't have there's no other university up on the stage, I'm just letting you know. So only University of Maryland's here. And I'm waiting for you to come to my school. Just to let you know, we have at least 2,000 veterans, active service duty military, and ROTC students at the University of Maryland out of 41,000 students. So we are committed to your success. How about a round of applause for that? As a son of an Air Force veteran, I know firsthand the benefits and honor that come from serving in the military. When I speak to students at the University of Maryland, I always encourage them to stand up, get involved, take charge of their future, to take on the grand challenges of our time. It gives me great pride to see all of you graduating high schoolers this evening, and I'm just so happy and thankful that you're willing to serve. We all know that the world is an unsettled and dangerous place, but by choosing higher calling and service to the military and to our country, you are all already showing the intelligence, the integrity, and determination needed to be leaders and problem solvers in the 21st century. I have a deep admiration and appreciation for what you all have done and what you all are going to do in the future. And I want you to know that when the time is right, I'm going to be right here for you when you come to the University of Maryland, right? When you come to the university after your military career is over, or in the middle of your military career and you're looking to get an undergraduate or graduate degree at University of Maryland College Park. Higher education is just not for a certain type of student or a certain type of person. It is there for anyone who shows the potential and dedication necessary to succeed. And you are already on right track to making that happen by serving in the armed forces. We need people just like you on our campus. We need people just like you in College Park. Who better to be an example of discipline? Who better to be an example of leadership? Who better to be an example to uphold democracy and our country's values than all of you? So I'm grateful to your commitment to service. I'm grateful for your commitment to our country. That's why we have groups like Terp Vets, which hosts social events, provides meaningful volunteer opportunities, and inspires leadership throughout the campus community. That's why we have opened a new Veterans Business Outreach Center to help vets start small businesses in the state of Maryland. It's the only one on a university campus in the state of Maryland that we reached out for our veterans. We are committed to your success. We're committed to your service, and we're grateful. So thank you again for your integrity and your determination to deciding to serve our great country. I am proud to be here, and I'm here to watch you take your first step and journey on that incredible career, and I'm also here as you take that second step to get a college education. Congratulations to all of you, and Godspeed. Thank you.
Well done. Thank you, President Pines. Please welcome our next speaker, the Vice President, Military and Veteran Affairs at Comcast NBC Universal, Mona Dexter.
Thank you, Mary, and thank you, Ken, and our community salutes for bringing us together this evening. But more importantly, I thank each of you sitting in the front rows here for choosing a future of service. As another parent of a U.S. Army soldier, I wish to extend my deep appreciation to you and your loved ones for their support of your decision to serve. But Daryl, I do have to say, we want them too at Comcast NBC Universal. So see University of Maryland after service, come to Comcast NBC Universal after Maryland. We have a place for you. So as the Vice President of Military and Veteran Affairs, I have the honor and privilege of leading our company's efforts to support and empower our military customers, employees, and community partners. As a company founded by a veteran, Ralph Roberts, a World War II Navy veteran, it is ingrained in our values to support and be part of the military community. And this isn't just a career for me. Again, it's personal. As a military mom and longtime military spouse, I've witnessed firsthand the selflessness, commitment, and resilience of those who have chosen to serve and their loved ones who proudly stand shoulder to shoulder among our nation's military community. At Comcast NBC Universal, our mission is to help create a future of unlimited possibilities by connecting people to moments that matter most through media, technology, and, as Ken mentioned, career opportunities. I get to call thousands of teammates, National Guard and Reserve, I get to call thousands of National Guard and Reserve service members teammates. Again, as a company founded by veterans, we have unique benefits and support to help individuals grow after active duty service or grow into careers in both the civilian and the military. And this brings me to the next speaker, Brigadier General Janine Burkhead, Maryland's Adjutant General. As commander of the Maryland Army National Guard, General Burkhead is responsible for the combat readiness of 4,600 soldiers and 45 installations across the state. Along with serving overseas in Afghanistan, General Burkhead also led Maryland's COVID-19 Equity Task Force, delivering medical support services to underserved populations during the pandemic. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Brigadier General Janine Burkhead.
Good afternoon or good evening, everyone. Oh, gosh. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you. Good evening, who? Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, ma'am. Thank you. All right. Secretary, so glad to see you. Thank you for coming to Maryland. Much appreciated. So this is a great day for America. I started my own journey in the U.S. Army just a very few months ago, and I had to take an oath too. And what's funny about that, Ken? It was just a few months ago. And my journey was full of triumphs and full of friendships and full of laughs. But sometimes I stumbled, I recovered, I got up, I tried it again. I will tell you, every day wasn't a victory. But I stand here before you. I stand here before you to tell you that I've got your back, that we've got your back. And I'm so pleased to recognize a few of you who are joining us. Private PV2 Hepper, where are you? Stand up, there you go. 18-year-old senior from Westminster. He joined to serve his country. He's gonna be a 91 Bravo, and he likes to play soccer. Is that correct? Thank you for your service. Let's see here, we got future sailor, Matthew Hebb, where are you? There you go, Matthew. My dad was in the Navy. Goes to North County High School and is a baseball player. Very nice. Thank you for your service. Let's see, PFC Gerseo. There you go, all the way on the end over there. From Harford County, senior at Parkville High School. You experienced a lot growing up in the inner city, but you're joining the Maryland Army National Guard for a better life. I'm there for you, kid. All right, we got with the Air Force, Airman Jason Santal, Randallstown. There you go, Randallstown High School. Wants to be an aircraft mechanic. Huh? All right, and PV2 Rucker, senior at Westminster, joined with a friend. Did your friend stay in? Okay, good. So two of you, stand up. Who's a friend? There you go, good job. I'll give y'all a coin. Loves to work on skateboards. And last but not least is Pooley Kell. Where are you? There you go, Marines, right? What are you supposed to say? What are you supposed to say? U.S. Marine Corps? Very good. He plays football. Eric wants to be an aircraft mechanic. So I'm looking forward to you all joining the ranks of our service. It's going to be an incredible journey. And so I want to share with you a few insider tips. Set goals, be flexible. The situation will change, I promise you. It will always change. I did not plan to become the Adjutant General of Maryland. I worked hard to be a solid soldier, an effective leader. And when the doors opened, my experience took me all the way. So that's what I say. Be ready to take advantage of opportunity. Look ahead, knowing that you will be trained and well led by those who have competence and confidence in you and are ready to see you advance. And while you're learning to be flexible, because things will change, make sure your values don't change. I urge you to serve with integrity. Do the right thing even when no one's looking. I hope you will experience the pride that I felt when I deployed wearing our nation's flag on our sleeve. As a trained and ready member of the U.S. Army Armed Forces, we indeed are the security of our nation and our state. So live the Army values, live the Defender values. Stay disciplined in mind and body. Be part of the team. When times get challenging, remain dedicated, and here's how. Remember this one day, when you take this oath, you'll remember one day that you said, I joined to serve. Insider and tip, embrace diversity. It makes you stronger and it makes the team stronger. I'll tell you, we've been going through massive change, right? Political change, technological change, economic change, and we cannot rely on tradition. We just can't if we're gonna be successful. We must change as well and be creative, and we must do that wisely. And that's why the strength is our military, because we appreciate the diversity of America. And finally, remember that you're not alone. You're joining a remarkable team. Your strength will come from your team, and the team's strength will come from you. This ceremony today celebrates your team of teams. Your family and friends are here as supporters. They will see you through the toughest times. We all need each other, and you should appreciate them being here for you. You have made a selfless and brave decision, a first step along an amazing, amazing journey. Someday, I guarantee you, you will look back at amazement at what you, one ordinary person, can achieve. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, General Burkhead. I have so much respect for you. You are a true leader for us in Maryland. At this time, I'd like to introduce you to our keynote speaker. Please help me welcome to the stage the 9th Command Sergeant Major of the Army Reserve and the first woman to reach this position. Command Sergeant Major retired Michelle Jones.
Good evening. Okay, now, the general started this, but I'm going to take it a step further. So, yeah, absolutely. So first of all, I'm going to tell you this. I'm a Baltimorean, so we need to amp this up. So the first thing I'm going to say is I'm going to turn around. I'm going to step away from this microphone. And if I am louder than you, then there's a problem. So here we go. Hold on.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you. It's a great evening. Give yourselves a round of applause. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Whew, hold on. Let me put my little cute bag down here. Hold on. So first of all, thank you so very much, Secretary. It's always great to see you. My good friend Ken, and let me tell you real quick, I gotta tell you how Ken and I met. I've gotta tell the story. I was in Las Vegas, not gambling, just wanna let you know. I was at a DOD Worldwide Equal Opportunity Conference, and there were about 5,000 people that were in attendance. And I had just finished doing a speech. And here comes this man. Now, I had been retired maybe a year, and here comes this man running towards me, looking like he's getting ready to tackle me. You know, I automatically went into Army Defense, but he told me about our community salutes. It was 13 years ago, and I have been with him ever since. I am an enlisted soldier, okay? Proud, proud. I am truly honored and humbled when asked to speak at any event, but this event particularly, our community salutes, that recognizes the young men and women that are enlisting in the military. As always, I think about what can I say to not only the young men and women, but to the family, the friends, the family, and the community. Words to reassure, motivate, inspire, and hopefully words to serve as a catalyst for each one of you here tonight to take away at least 3 things, 3 positive things that you can use for yourself. So please, sit back and relax. Tonight's event may be the first for many. For some, it may be your second or third, and because it's Baltimore, the second one. For me, it's about the 30th or 40th. And people always ask me, why do you keep doing this? Why do you keep coming? And my answer is simple. It's a commitment. It's a passion. When you're given so many opportunities to excel, it means nothing if you don't give back. People say knowledge is power. I say knowledge is power only when you share it. So I am sharing with each and every one of you a piece of my journey to help you in yours. Now, I won't give a fancy speech. It may not be the most eloquent, but it will be the most sincere. So sit back and relax and know what I'm about to say is truly from the heart. Now, I want to warn you, if you think I'm going to stay behind this podium on this stage, you're wrong. I'm going to jump up, well, maybe not jump off, but I'm going to walk down the steps. I am a paratrooper, so I'm used to jumping out of planes, but I'm going to walk off this stage and I'm going to walk around because I want you to see that what I'm saying is sincere, and that includes you too, family and community. So, to the community, thank you so very much for your outpour to support these young men and women, the newest members of our military. They are your future community leaders, business leaders, entrepreneurs, college presidents. Who knows? The sky is the limit. All will return with new professional skills, life skills, a commitment to others, and contributing members of our community, your communities. You have made an investment with your time and your support, and it will pay off exponentially. They will remember this send-off, but what they will recognize when they go to their training, that not everyone gets that. It will mean even more to you when you go. My sincere to the parents, the guardians, loved ones, family, and friends, my sincere gratitude to you, and thanks for being here and showing your support and pride in your loved one. You may think that this decision was easy. You may say, well, I served, okay, makes sense. But many of you are thinking, what in the heck have they decided? You may be afraid. You may be scared. And like my mom, she might have been a little bit angry too. You see, I was a student at Milford Mill, graduated at Milford, all right now. That's all right. Lost myself. I was a student at Milford Mill. Graduated from high school at 16. I was an honor student. I had no choice. My parents said, "You going to college?" Yes, ma'am. Yes, Dad. But in that process, I saw this commercial. And back then, the slogan was, "Be all you can be." And there was this commercial of this guy jumping out of this perfectly good airplane. And I'm like, oh, snap. I want to do that, and I want to meet him. Now, I didn't meet him, but I did do that. And I promised my parents, I said, "Mom, Dad, I'm going in." I promised them, and I was at college. I was in college and doing well. I told them, "I got to go. My time, my dime. I'll finish it." And I did. So let me say this to you, loved ones, and this is one part when I come off the stage. Hold on.
Can you hear me? Yes. Can you hear me back there? Yes. Can you hear me over there? Yes. All right, fantastic. So here I go. I'm going to come back to you all. Family, loved ones. Like I said, my parents did not want me to go in the military. My parents did not like me going into the military. My parents were against me going in the Army. My dad said to me, "I'd rather say my daughter is in college than in the Army." But, hi, baby. But, he said, "It is honorable, it's legal, it's moral, and it's ethical, and I will support you." My mom wrote letters. I know y'all don't know about that writing letters thing. They wrote back then in cursive. My mom wrote letters, 3 pages, 4 pages, 10 pages. My grandparents, cards, letters. My dad sent the coolest cards. I was the proverbial daddy's girl. My aunties, cousins, put together the care packages. I love getting my M&Ms with peanuts in my Twizzlers. Every time I was sad, frustrated, angry, all those things, family, I took out a letter. I read a card, and it gave me the strength to move forward. You can't be the first of anything without the support and love of your family. They may act like they don't need you, but trust me, they do. They always will. I am years old. Don't say what it is. And I still need my mom. My dad's gone on. But I will always need them, and so will your babies. Young people, stand up, turn around. I want you to say in the loudest voice you can, "Thank you for your support and love." On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you for your support. All right now. Take seats.
They love you. They do. Boy, I'm tired. No, I'm just kidding. I never expected to be in for 25 years. I said I'm only going to do 3. And then it was 5, then it was 6, then it was 10. Whether you do 3 or whether you do 33, whether you do 4, whether you do 44, make it better. Make it better. And I'll get into that a little bit. Okay, now for you all. The newest members, first of all, thank you for having the courage to join, because I know somebody was in your ear saying not to do it. Thank you for having the courage to join. Thank you for being elite, and you are. You are less than 1% of this country that serves in the military. Ladies, stand up, please. Now, the reason I'm asking them to stand up is because when I joined the Army and I enlisted in the Army, the opportunities for women were this small. Fast forward, 2023, there is no career that you cannot go into in the military. Take advantage of every opportunity. Everyone. Over 2 million women have served in the U.S. military. Women, the unique thing about a woman's service versus a man's, and this is the only thing, is that every woman that ever served in the military volunteered. We have never been drafted. We came because we wanted to, always. Remember that. Go ahead, take your seats. Whew. This is your country. It's not perfect, but it's yours. I have been to over 50 countries around the world, and I have found the beauty in all of them. But there is no country that I'd rather be a citizen of than the United States of America. You remember that when you go out, you are going to be official and unofficial ambassadors for this country. Clear? Now, we have multiple services here. Now, in the Army, if we ask you a question, we respond with, recruiters help me out, we respond with, who? In the Marines, they say, in the Air Force, they say, really? In the Navy, they say, okay. In the Space Force, they say, they're learning, they're the newest one. In the Coast Guard, they say something. But for purposes of tonight, because you're all serving in the military, what I want you to say, when I say clear, you say clear. So let's practice. Clear? Clear. Clear? Clear. That's so I understand and make sure that what I'm saying to you, you got it. Clear? Clear. Thank you. Y'all sound so good. Y'all going to do well in training. I'm so proud of you already. Okay. So here we go. Oh, where's my paper? I can't even turn the page. I'm so excited. Couple things. Don't get caught up in the titles. Don't get caught up in the rank. If you do good, you will get promoted. I've had more titles than I can shake a stick at. The title I like the most is Command Sergeant Major, retired. The title that warms my heart is Mommy. But the title that I am most proud of is Veteran. Titles come and go. Don't get caught up in them. Next thing, do train hard. You got to train hard. You're going to get mad. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to be like, what in the world? Why are we doing this? Train hard. You can never learn enough. Train hard. Be prepared. Do learn to control your fear. You may not conquer it, but control it. If you can control your fears, you can go where you want to go, and it will give you additional levels of confidence Control your fears. Do better than you ever thought you could. Do become a member of the GSD, Get Stuff Done Club. Do make your loved ones proud. Do be a mentor and a role model. Do realize it's not easy. If it was easy, anybody could do it. It's not. Do take advantage of every opportunity. People are going to tell you, don't volunteer, don't volunteer. Let me tell you something. Volunteer for every daggone thing. Because the things that I volunteered for that nobody wanted to do, I became the subject matter expert. And then more and more opportunity. Oh yeah, that Jones soldier over there, she volunteered for anything. Well, let's try her in this new spot. Volunteer. Do teach your team. Do learn to follow. Do lead those into learning. Always learn. Do love your country. Do open your mind to new experiences, new cultures, people. Do recognize and accept those differences, as we are indeed as unique as our fingerprints. And always, always remember, it's not about you. It's about your team. It's about your unit. It's about your company. It's about your service. It's about serving, not just you. Tonight, you're going to receive a copy of the Constitution of the United States of America. Read it. Learn it. Understand it. Don't let someone do that for you. Truly understand the Constitution, because when you raise your right hand tonight, it's to the Constitution, not to any one person. Clear? Clear? All right. Now, no matter what service you're in, no matter what component, National Guard, Reserve, it takes all of you. All of you. Now, last couple of things. To me, every day was a good day. Some days were better than others. But every day to me was a good day. I took the lesson and the blessing. People often ask me, how did you get through it? How did you do it? And it was simple. It's my life philosophy. It's my leadership philosophy. And it's called the Bones Theory. Not the Jones Theory like my last name, but the Bones. And here I go off the stage again. I'll come over here. Backbone. Having the courage to stand up and be who you are. Having the courage or the backbone to go against the tide when the tide is going the wrong way. Having the backbone Tailbone. Give yourselves a round of applause. Whew. Last two things I want to leave you with is this. You know, I talk about it's not about you. It's bigger than you. I've spent my life serving. The thing about serving, you never know who you're serving all the time. You never know who you're helping all the time. But I want to remember. And so this is my reminder. Don't laugh. It's like my doll. It's my legacy doll, because it's not about me. It's about who I'm helping, who I'm serving, but I don't need to know. If you can see, and I know most of you can't, there's a place that I can put a picture in here, but I don't. As I said, I don't need to know. I just need to know that I am helping and that I am serving. So this is my reminder, get your own. And then the last question I have for you, can anyone, I think I'm going to do one more thing. I had a young lady from my old high school, from Milford Mill. Come stand right here, please. Actually, come up on the stage. Come up on the stage. Got two. Come on. I'm putting them on the spot right now. That's what you get ready for, because they're going to do it to you. Which one of you can tell me without fail all four bones? All right, her hand went up first. I want them to hear it, not just me.
Backbone.
Oh.
Wishbone, funny bone, and tailbone.
Did she get it right? Okay. She did. I got this pen on. This pen, it says, "Women proudly serve." It's my remembrance of all the women before me. You gonna get this. I'll make sure you get one too, just because you're from Milford. Give them a round of applause. So my last thing is this. I talked about four bones. Can anyone tell me which bone is my favorite bone? Anybody? Back there, over there. Tailbone. I want to get up off of it. He raised his hand. Funny bone. I will giggle myself to success. I saw a hand over there. Backbone. Well, there's only one left. I like my backbone. In the Army, you know, NCOs, enlisted people, are the backbone of the Army. So there's only one bone left. Wishbone. Okay, in order to make a wish, what do you have to have? Anybody, just yell it out. Anybody. Hope. Correct. What else? A bone. What else? In the corner over there. Faith. Absolutely. Way back there in the corner. Say belief. Absolutely. Anybody over here want to try? Go ahead. A dream. Yes. Oh, I saw a hand back there. You were going to say a dream? I can't believe this. I cannot believe that. Go ahead. Trust? Yes. Go ahead. Yes. Yes. Shooting star? Almost. Right there. Yes. But just one simple thing. In order to have a wish, you got to have a wand. Oh my God. And confidence too. But in order to make a really good wish, you got to have a wand. So this is my wand. It is a very special wand because it has a mirror on the back. Whatever I wish for you is going to come back to me. So first of all, my wish for you is to make and take every day and learn from it. When you go in your service, make it better than what you found it. When you come out, you are better than when you went in. And always remember, service trumps all. So that's my wish. This is my wand. Shh. Wishes do come true. God bless you. Thank you.
Oh, you knock our socks off. Thank you, Command Sergeant Major Retired Jones. Incredible. Incredible. Secretary, I told you I'd take notes from her speech. I write down bones every year because I can't remember, but it's brilliant and it fits all of our lives. So thank you so much. Thank you also to our senior military who are here, who have made the time to be here tonight to help us celebrate and honor the importance of serving our country. To introduce our final speaker of the evening, please welcome the managing partner of Squadra Ventures and the civilian assistant to the Secretary of the Army, Guy Filippelli. Guy, come on up.
Good evening. I realize now that I'm simply a buffer between Michelle Jones and the Secretary of the Army. Absolutely impossible to follow. But I do want to say a couple of things. First of all, thank you once again. I know you've heard it, but it means a tremendous amount to all of us that so many of you are here. I'm up here, I'll just give you a little bit of quick background. I served for 9 years as an Army officer. And I remember it was nearly 30 years ago today when I left my parents behind, not knowing what I would face ahead of me. I had the letters, I had the thoughts. I went on to serve in Korea, in Germany, in Italy, in Afghanistan, in Iraq. And I will tell you all that my time in the military completely transformed my life. And it did so in a couple of really important ways. And this is, I speak both to the enlistees, and to the families, as well as to, frankly, the recruiters and the active duty personnel that are here tonight, because this event doesn't happen without any of you. Number one, I learned a tremendous amount of things, and it made me a much more capable and competent person, which has allowed me to go on and transition into other things in my life. But more importantly, the friendships and the camaraderie that I experienced completely made me a better person, a better human, a better friend, a better family member, and just a better human being. And I just want to, before I introduce the Secretary, I'm here in a way, I'm representing Maryland. When they mention that I'm what's called a civilian aide Secretary of the Army, what that really means is I'm here in Baltimore. It's a volunteer role that I have the luxury of having, but I'm here as sort of an Army ambassador for the city of Baltimore and the region that surrounds it. And one of the things that I try to do in this role is I try to do anything I can to both help the Army on one side, but on the other side, help the community of veterans and the community of family members. And I just want to say to all of you here tonight, there's some amazing people in this room, and I hope many of you got a chance to meet them. Secretary Tony Woods, our new head of Veteran Affairs. There's an incredible woman in the back, Katie Kilby, who runs an organization called Reveille Grounds, which is a new organization that aims to bring together all of the veteran and military affinity organizations in the region to do amazing things. Like right now, she's deeply involved in a project to provide a critical assistance to the single veterans home in Maryland called Charlotte Hall. And if you haven't read about that, it's an incredible project. It's an incredible place that needs a lot of help. So my point to all of you is, the community never stops. You have joined a family, and my challenge to all of you, both as enlistees and to the family members, help us make the community here in Baltimore even better. And the last thing I'll say is, a great mentor of mine once told me, Guy, you will go on to surround yourself with amazing people. But the one thing you will never be able to do, the one thing you'll never be able to replicate is your time in the military was the last time that you were surrounded by so many amazing people who were all there for a reason bigger than themselves. And it's a really special thing that you will all bring with you for the rest of your life. So I'm out of the advice department tonight, and I'm really, really proud to introduce our final speaker, an incredibly special person, and by the nature of my position, my boss. The Honorable Christine Wormuth happens to be, when you think of what is the Secretary of the Army, I hope you all appreciate that she is effectively the CEO of over 1.25 million people. The soldiers, the active duty, the reserves, the National Guard, and the Department of Defense Army civilians. Christine has served at every level of Army leadership, from starting out as a career civil servant to the Undersecretary of Defense for Policy. She served in the White House, on the National Security Council, and now she is the 25th Secretary of the Army and the first woman to serve in that position in the history of our nation. We're extremely grateful that she's here. It means a tremendous amount for her to take so much time out of her time, or of her day, and we're simply welcome you here to the stage. Thank you very much. It's an honor.
Thank you so much, Guy. I'm always worried because one of the first big speeches I gave, I touched the microphone, it went off, and it was a nightmare after that. But I am so happy to be with all of you tonight, and I'm really happy and pleased to be here to recognize and thank all of you terrific young people who are going to be joining one of the branches of the United States military, which is really the best and most professional armed forces in the entire world. So congratulations and thank you. I did not refresh my memory on Command Sergeant Major Michelle Jones retired's bio in the Army, but I am guessing somewhere along there in the way, Michelle, you were a drill sergeant. Am I right? No. Oh my goodness. Well, I will just say, for those of you joining the Army, you now have seen a little bit of the incredible charisma and coaching and mentorship that you will get from your drill sergeants at basic training. Thank you, Michelle, for your fantastic words. It was fantastic for you to share your wisdom, your hard-earned lessons, and I'm not, frankly, going to be able to give you all any better advice than Command Sergeant Major Retired Jones did. But I promise you, since I am the very last speaker, I will try to keep my remarks short, and then we will get on with the oath of enlistment. As Guy Filippelli said, I am the 25th Secretary of the Army, and in that role, I lead the largest of our military services. We are about 1 million strong soldiers. We also have many thousands of civilian workers. But over the years in my career, I've also had the opportunity to work with Marines, to work with airmen, to work with sailors, to work with some Guardians, although they are new, as well as folks from the Coast Guard. And so I couldn't be more pleased to administer the oath of enlistment for you all tonight, whether you're joining the Army or whether you're joining one of our sister services. Our military is made up of Americans from across this vast, remarkable country. From corner to corner, from coast to coast, from Bozeman to Boston, from Boise to right here in Baltimore. Our military is the most diverse it's ever been, and it's a living expression of our great democratic experiment. This year marks the 50th anniversary of the all-volunteer force. Our military, like I said, is the best in the world, and the fact that it is made up of men and women like yourself who volunteer to serve, and let me emphasize that again, who volunteer to serve, makes it even more remarkable. Not everyone has what it takes to serve in our armed forces. It takes courage, it takes determination, and it takes a commitment to be part of something that's larger than yourselves. So I'm here, all of us are here, everyone in the audience, your family, your friends, your counselors, your recruiters, are here to say thank you for those of you who are about to take the oath of enlistment. Thank you for choosing to serve. And I want to again emphasize that word choose, because our country is indeed a nation defended by volunteers. The freedom we enjoy in this great country is not inherited. It is not guaranteed. It must be fought for and defended by each generation. And all of you have volunteered to defend this country. I do want to say to our community leaders tonight, our educators, our administrators, our counselors and coaches, thank you for being here. To our hardworking military recruiters, I want to thank all of you for being here tonight. All of you collectively have played an important role in making it possible for these young people to be here today and in making sure they have the opportunity to, wait for it, be all you can be. Like again, Command Sergeant Major Jones said that got her motivated when she saw that ad. You know, it said we do more in the Army, but by 9 a.m. than everybody else does in the whole day. And we have brought that commercial back, and I'm excited about it. To the parents and families of these terrific young people, thank you for fostering their desire to be part of something larger than themselves and to answer the call to service. There are a lot of ways to serve in our country, and joining the military is just one of them. But in these challenging times, we really need young people to serve. We need people to serve whether they do it in uniform or as teachers or as law enforcement officers or as doctors and nurses. Public serving is a calling, and I believe it is a calling that is fundamentally hopeful. So I want to thank the parents and families in the room for raising these young people to believe that they can make a difference in the world. I know you are so proud of them, as you absolutely should be. So give yourselves a hand. Okay, to each of you young men and women, here is my message to you. Our country needs every ounce of the courage, patriotism, and resilience that you are going to build as you go on to basic training. I always say that in the Army, people are our most important weapon system, and that is true, but it's true for the other services as well. You, our people, are the most important thing in our United States military. You enable our success, and you are our biggest advantage. You're about to embark on an amazing journey, one filled with new experiences and new opportunities. You haven't chosen the easy path, but when was something really worth having? When was achieving something truly important ever easy? Looking forward, you're going to gain new skills, you're going to go to new places, you're going to reap a lot of benefits, tangible and intangible. You're going to meet new people, like Guy Filippelli said, who will become your comrades for life. And you will undoubtedly take pride in the professionalism you develop and in what you achieve. You will truly be all you can be. Since yesterday was Mother's Day, I want to close with a few words of advice from my own mom, who spoke at my high school graduation, X numbers of years ago. It's a pretty big number. And here's what she said to me. She said to my whole class, "Be risk takers. Be unafraid to test yourselves. Push your talents and your capabilities to their limits. Don't be afraid to fail. Risk being unsuccessful. We learn a lot about ourselves by the way we cope with failure and disappointment. Be willing to take a stand and defend your beliefs. Each time you do it, you will nourish your own self-respect. And finally, create a future worthy of our expectations for you and for your expectations of yourselves. Make it a future that is one of integrity and excellence." And looking out at all of you, I can see there are great things ahead. I want to congratulate each of you for raising your right hand, which you will do in just a minute, for choosing to serve this great country. Your country, the city of Baltimore, the communities you live in, your families and friends, all salute your service. Thank you so much, and I have no doubt that our all-volunteer force and our country are in great hands with you. Okay, now for the big event. Why doesn't everybody stand up? And well, just our folks who are about to enlist here. Although we can do some re-enlistments. Anyone who wants to re-enlist, there's still time. All right, everybody, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. All right, congratulations. Hooah!
Seat. All right, now we're going to have a little fun. And first of all, Madam Secretary, thank you so much for those remarks. I'll have you know that I had the distinct honor of meeting with the Secretary, about, 3 months ago in her office, and she said, Ken, what can I do to help you? And I said, ma'am, we have at least 12 big ceremonies across the country that we could really use the GO. And literally within maybe 24, 48 hours at the max, I get 4 stars, 3 stars, 2 stars, and down at every one of these ceremonies from San Diego to Lincoln, Nebraska, they were all there, and every one of them was absolutely amazing. So thank you very much for helping us make that happen. It's not come easy, and it's never happened in 15 years of doing the ceremony. So now we're going to have fun, and I'm going to have to ask Sergeant Major over there, our orchestra leader, just to play with me a second here, Sergeant Major. We have a long tradition at our community salutes, and that is every one of our ceremonies, we play the service song. But don't play yet, Sergeant Major. We're going to do a little shift here. It's a little competition we like to play, and I told you guys out in the hallway, this is part of the time where, just before we introduce you, one by one, we have a little competition. And we will play each of the services fight songs, starting with the Air Force, Space Force, Coast Guard, Army, Navy, Marines separately, but here's the contest. When your service song plays, we want all the veterans, and of course the active duty people and the seniors from that service to play. And we're going one at a time, and our competition is here to see which service can sing the loudest and the proudest. And doggone it, those Marines every year seem to win this contest, but tonight, as an old soldier, I think we're going to have an exception to that. I'm just saying. So we're going to start off with the Air Force. Air Force veterans, Air Force enlistees, please stand. The words to your song are on the screen, so you have no excuse to sing loud and proud. Maestro, Air Force. Hold on, not ready. Space Force. Space Force. Coast Guard, all Coasties, please stand and sing your song. Veterans, Coast Guard, any Coast Guards? Army's next. Army's next. Army on your feet. All veterans, all Army seniors on your feet. Along. All right, Navy, you're up. Navy veterans, Navy sailors, future sailors. And my Marines, Marine veterans, Marine active duty, Marine seniors, here's your song. Outstanding. Give yourself a hand. Nice job. Very nice job.
You can feel that energy. Well done. And now to recognize those high school seniors who have chosen to enlist in the U.S. Army and the U.S. Army Reserve, please welcome Lieutenant Colonel Cy Ruling.
I got a field promotion right there. So, good evening, friends, family, and distinguished guests. I'd like to thank you all for coming here today to celebrate and recognize the commitment to country these future soldiers are about to make. To our future soldiers, you're joining an institution rich in history, one synonymous with honor, courage, and the liberation of those oppressed in both home and abroad. It is with this legacy of excellence in mind that we welcome you into the profession of arms, and that we charge you to continue this legacy of honor throughout your time of service, whether this be 3 years or 30 years. To our parents present, thank you for entrusting us with your legacy. We strive to make your sons and daughters the best they can be. To all of you, our community salutes. And without further ado, we'll recognize our future soldiers. Kyle Allward, Adam Braswell, DeAndre Corbin, Christ DeLima, Christopher Dunahay, Landon Holstein, Nathaniel Norshum, Xavier Mack, Thomas Mast, Alexis Mendez, Mikala Williams, Give a round of applause.
And now to recognize those high school seniors who have chosen to enlist in the U.S. Army National Guard, please welcome Captain Justin E. Rogers.
Good evening and welcome to the Maryland Army National Guard. You have our tag here. Thank you, General Burkhead and Secretary of Army. Thank you, ma'am, for being here. Private Hepper. Private James. Private Ohm. Private Rucker. Private Woodson. Private Gorcio. Private Civicomoran. And Private Smith. Welcome to the Maryland Army National Guard. Let's go.
Congratulations to our Army, Army Reserve, and Army National Guard enlistees. And now to recognize the high school seniors who have chosen to enlist in the U.S. Marine Corps and the Marine Reserve. Please welcome Major Charles Jalaka.
As I look out on the young faces tonight, I've been overtaken with a profound sense of gratitude. I had heard about this ceremony, Ken. It's been great to be here. But looking at your faces, looking at the faces of the parents that aren't quite as young, that are a little bit older like me, here tonight, I'm grateful that I know this nation's in good hands. This generation, the talent I see in front of me, the propensity to serve, the willingness to try and better yourselves, means America's next chapter is going to be written by those who have what we need to make this country better and better as we continue on. So I thank you for that. And in that spirit of gratitude, we'll now recognize those who have decided to become part of the few, the proud, the Marines. Please stand. Kevin Benson, Jr. Luis Bernal Ayo. Tyler Blackwell. Madeline Bordon Alvarez. Rosie Guillen Garyejas. Rakeem Jenkins. Adam Kell. Logan Kistner. Sean Lifford. Julio Lopez Cordova. Jaleel Lowry. James Lowry. Manatee Mara. Joe Nivia. Dominic Oates. Oluwaniefmi Olutoba. Dagoberto Ordonez. Zion Parr. David Peoples. Shermaya Perry. Walter Ponce Duras. Nicholas Porter. Ian Robertson. Gabriel Salas Santiago. Rayshawn Simpson. Jacob Veazey. Kimberly Viela Perez, Evan Philhauer, Colin Benson, Damon Nelson, and finally David June.
Congratulations to our new U.S. Marine Corps enlistees. To recognize those high school seniors who have chosen to enlist in the U.S. Navy, please welcome Chief Alice Westbrook.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you. I want to thank the organizers. This is my second year, and every year it gets better and better. Thank you. May God bless you. Thank you to the parents. It's a great honor. My son served for 6 years, so I know it's a great opportunity when you give your children and our guests and everybody that is here. I'm born and raised in Nairobi, Kenya. I enlisted in the Navy Reserves 2006. My main was to join and get citizenship to bring my family. And 15 years later, I'm still here. It's a great opportunity, and I think this is one of the best countries. You'll never understand what this country has to offer when you're an immigrant and you move here and get all the opportunities. And Navy gave me that opportunity. Navy gave my family that opportunity. Navy gave my children that opportunity. And with that gratitude, I want to introduce our future sailors who have made this commitment, and it's an honor. First and foremost, future sailor Adams, future sailor Beckles, future sailor Barney, future sailor Cooper, future sailor Chrisman, future sailor Fields, future sailor Hong, future sailor Howard, future sailor Krieger, future sailor Lewis, future sailor Madrano, future sailor Peters, future sailor Secretary, future sailor Rivers, future sailor Maratesser, and last but not least, future sailor Heb. Thank you.
And congratulations to our new enlistees for the U.S. Navy. And now to recognize those high school seniors who have chosen to enlist in the U.S. Air Force, please welcome Lieutenant Colonel Eric Saunders.
So first of all, as a person that enlisted from this area probably 28 years ago, I'm old is winning, so I'm okay saying it. I'm excited for all of you enlistees in all the services. I definitely have more runway behind me than I have in front of me, but the opportunities that you have make me excited about all the things that are out there waiting for you. When I came into the Air Force 28 years ago, I didn't know what was out there. I didn't know what opportunities I had, but I can assure you there's an exciting world out there waiting for you, and I'm excited about what is waiting for you out there as you join the services. To your parents, I want to warn you, in a few months, you will go to a graduation. There will be a ceremony, but the people that you see up here, you will not recognize them. They will have something contagious. It will be confidence, it will be pride, and you will see it right away. And you will catch that as soon as you see them. So I'm excited for you as you see your sons and daughters in the next few months and what they have become. And you'll get to watch them and go through this journey with them as long as they decide to serve. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started and welcome our next airman. So Tristan Adams Sobers, Merrick Davis, Christian Gully, Damian Jones, Clayshawn Robinson, Jason Santal, and Grant Travis.
Congratulations to all of our new Armed Forces enlistees, all of you. Thank you. At this time, please turn your attention to the screens for a personal video message from our Secretary of Defense and a very special poem by one of our Blue Star mothers.
Hello, I'm Lloyd Austin, the Secretary of Defense. It's great to be able to join you in honoring our next generation of outstanding service members. Most of all, I want to congratulate our graduates. You know, I'm so proud that you've chosen to serve your country in such an important way. I believe that service is a gift. By joining the military, you'll give so much of yourselves to the nation that we all love. And I can tell you firsthand that you'll get so much back in return. Every day, you'll work with the very best of America, with deeply committed patriots who work together to embody the values of democracy that you'll swear to defend. It's going to be challenging work, but I think that you're going to love it. Now, I also would like to thank your families and your loved ones today. Throughout your time in uniform, they're going to serve right alongside you, and their love and support will absolutely make your service possible. So graduates, thanks again for stepping up. I know that you'll help keep us safe and make us proud. And so on behalf of the entire Department of Defense, welcome to the team. We're awfully glad to have you. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Hi, my name is Jenny, and I have 6 children. 2 of my children enlisted in the United States Navy, Cole in 2013 and Mary in 2016. When Mary enlisted, she was extremely fortunate to be able to go to our community salutes. They didn't have one in our area when Cole enlisted. We attended the event together, and it was awesome, a really amazing event, and very emotional. Mary left for boot camp charged in a whole new way. She knew not only were her father and I proud of her, but so was the entire community. I'm proud to say that I'm a 2-star, Blue Star mom. Shortly before Mary left for the Navy, I wrote a poem, and it's called How I Feel About My Enlisted Child. I wrote it for both of my kids, and here it is. You are children today and adults tomorrow. Our babies grow up. We learn to our sorrow. When I close my eyes, I see you playing in the past. Where did the time go, and why so fast? I watched every day as you changed and grew. Now here you are, the perfect grown-up you. You filled my days with needs for which I could help, and then joined the military and made my heart melt. You may be taking this step and leaving my nest, but you're a part of me, the part that's the best. You made me proud from the moment you were born, and then again when you entered the branch of which you were sworn. I will keep you in my thoughts and prayers every night, because you're one of the brave prepared to fight. Your military family will become your second home, and they will keep you busy wherever you roam. Support from me will never ever cease, because it's your job now to keep the peace. When you're gone and having a bad day, remember you know how to act and what to say. Because I taught you how to be all you can be, there's no one in the world prouder than me. So go and show them all that makes you you, remembering our community salutes you too. And in finishing, I just want to say thank you both for your sacrifice. We are the home of the free because of the brave.
Okay, we are almost done, but we have two very special awards that we have at the end. The first one is the Colin Powell Memorial Award. So let me give you a little history. 15 years ago, I contacted General Powell and I asked him if we could name an award after him. We wanted to give an award to a high school guidance counselor who's gone above and beyond the call of duty to help recruiters. And so he said, of course you could. And every year for the past 15 years, we've asked recruiters to nominate a high school guidance counselor in their area across the country to receive the award. Every year we award dozens of these awards, usually one in every community across the country. But tonight, we have so many wonderful nominations that we actually have 5 recipients of the Colin Powell Award. And I'd like to call them up and also I'd like to call up their recruiter tonight to hand them their awards. So the first award, and again, if it wasn't for these men and women, these educators are as much of our national defense, in my opinion, as anybody. If it isn't for the school counselor to give access to recruiters, we can't get the best and brightest to serve in our military. So we really, really want to thank them. So from Milford Hill Academy is Bridget Lewis here. Is Bridget Lewis here? If she is here, could she please come down? Bridget? Milford Mill Academy. Is she here? All right. Apparently she is not here, so we will her Sergeant Asamat, is that who nominated her? Oh, here he comes right here. Thank you very much. We will give you this award if you could please give it to us. Okay. Is Catherine Gibson here? Catherine, there she is. And the recruiter is Samantha Westover. Is recruiter Westover here too? There she. All right. Thank you very much. Okay, we have Lori Hackett. Is Lori Hackett here this evening? There she is, and her recruiter, Westover, Gunny Sergeant Westover. Thank you very much. Let's give them all a applause. Thank you. Now we have a new award this year, and this award was recommended, actually encouraged by all the services, and it's a STEM Educator Award, because obviously a lot of the jobs these young men are going into in the military require a science and math background. So this year we allow the recruiters around the country to nominate a STEM Teacher Award, Educator Award, and is Lakeisha Dennis on the audience here. If she can come up, there she is. And if the same recruiter could come up, she is the recipient of our STEM Educator Award. And if we can have the same Gunny come up, recruiter, Marine Corps recruiting. Because it was nominated by the Marine Corps. Thank you very much for all you do to encourage kids to pursue STEM. Big hand for our award recipient this evening. And we're all set. Thank you very much. And get a big round of hand for our award recipients. Thank you. Okay, before we close it out tonight, I want to give you a little sneak preview of something to come. So 4 years ago, when COVID all hit, back to 2020 or so, we couldn't do ceremonies. And I thought, okay, what are we going to do? This class of 2020, in case you don't remember, the class of 2020 is very special because it was the first kids to graduate from high school who enlisted prior to 9/11. They weren't even born in 9/11. So we had to do something, and I happened to be sitting around at home watching television, and I saw Elton John come on and do a tribute to healthcare workers. And I thought, okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get celebrities together, and we're going to do a shout out to all of the class of 2020 high school students. The only problem was I didn't know any celebrities. But I knew people like the folks at Comcast who did know people. And Terry Crews from America's Got Talent was our first host that first year, 2020. And we got everybody from astronauts literally in space to the Secretary of Defense to all the commanding generals and the admiral for Navy recruiting. We put this together, musical artists, etc. We did our first America Salutes 2020. We did it again in 2021, and in 2022, we had our host was Gary Sinise. Thank you very much. I am absolutely losing it after all these ceremonies. Gary Sinise was our host last year, and this year I'm very excited to say America Salutes 2023 will premiere on June 22nd at 8 p.m. It'll be broadcast on social media. It'll be broadcast by recruiters. It'll actually be broadcast on American Forces Network to 160 different countries around the world. So tonight, I want to show you some of the celebrities that got together this year to thank each and every one of you. And I think you're going to notice a few of these people up there who came together to say thank you to the class of 2023. So can we play the teaser, please?
America Salutes celebrates our nation's class of 2023 high school seniors who are making the selfless decision to enlist into the military and defend our freedom following graduation. It's an honorable commitment. It's a constitutional commitment.
Our Community Salutes is dedicated to acknowledging the people who are currently enlisting, that they have the support of our community.
The sacrifice, the dedication, and the unmatched patriotism that inspires all of us.
Committing to the military, it's a big, bold step.
We are celebrating the willingness of a few to put their lives on the line to protect the precious freedoms that we enjoy each and every day.
Today, only 1/2 of Americans are serving in active duty.
America still needs its heroes.
Few rise to the challenge of a cause greater than themselves.
We celebrate the 150,000 high school enlistees.
Those who are enlisting in the military straight out of high school.
Freedoms we enjoy are forged through the service and sacrifice
of those young men and women that are raising their right hand,
joining our armed forces of the United States of America.
Getting our nation's best and brightest young men and women.
Few Americans who are qualified to serve in the military.
The strength, the commitment to excellence, the loyalty.
I really believe in the freedom that America represents.
I'm so proud to be part of our Community Salutes and to recognize you for your service and your commitment to our nation.
Nuestros héroes que lucharán día a día para que sigamos siendo un país seguro.
Join us and our celebrity guests as we show our gratitude to our nation's newest and youngest service members. This is a moment where America unites and America salutes. Support our nation's newest patriots and become an ambassador today.
How you can see it. Also, for those of you who like a copy of that poem that was just that Jenny Marr wrote for us, that's available also on our website. Go to ocsusa.org/poem, ocsusa.org/poem, and you can download that. Also, while you're there, please, we need more volunteers. We hope next year to have even triple the size. We hope to have a place that won't even hold as many people as we need next year, but we can't do that without the moms and dads and volunteers that help us every year. Hundreds of volunteers across the country make that happen. And you can come to our website and sign up to be an Our Community Salutes ambassador to help us promote, help us plan, help us conduct these events. And the last thing I'll say to you is a lot of your friends and family can't necessarily be here tonight, or you'll go home tonight and they'll say, oh gosh, I could have been there. I wish I could have said thank you. Well, there is a way that everybody can say thank you. And we created a virtual thank you card on our website at ocsusa.org, a virtual thank you card. And our goal is to get 1 million Americans to sign that virtual thank you card by the 4th of July. So everybody, not just the young men and women sitting here today, but all 150,000 kids, class of 2023, that are going in, understand that their country has their support and their back. So again, all of that's available at ocsusa.org. And we really would appreciate if you would help us spread the word and send a nice little message to our high school heroes and patriots. So on that, I'm going to turn it back over to our MC for the evening.
We're going to have our chaplain come up. Chaplain will return to close us out tonight. Thank you.
All right, let's join me in prayer as we close this. Our gracious God, we have been uplifted and inspired by the spoken word this evening and by the spirit that we have felt. We are now ready to have these men and women join America's Armed Forces, both as members who have been here and served around the world, as well as their support back home are here to support. The call has not come lightly, but one that we are not afraid to accept. Now, as the lights are turned off and the music and inspiring words heard tonight are committed to memory, I pray that the feelings will be permitted to live within our souls. I bless each one to live by the counsel received here, but more importantly, to remember how you felt. The times ahead will be tough, but the lessons gained during these struggles will be a blessing in our lives. I bless you that when you are struggling, that you will remember the support of those here, and it will strengthen your resolve to keep going. It is normal to be afraid, but that is where courage comes from. Those who find it will become heroes. You are already heroes. Now you have the opportunity to live it. May God continue to bless each and every one of us and the United States of America this day and always, is our humble prayer. Amen.
We have two things to applaud tonight. Our distinguished panel, thank you all for being here. It's incredible. And then one more round of applause for our 2023 new enlistees. Woo! Have a great night and congratulations. Thank you. Yes, that was good. Thank you. Bless your heart.